Undo that there. And there's your piece. I'm going to go ahead and pass this piece around just so you can feel how smooth that is. This is awesome. Great sharp blade. Just beautiful. It's good stuff. It's about polished and it's pretty smooth. It's a sharp blade. Yeah, and that's the first cut too. Wait till you get to number 15. I'm a good salesman, not that good. All right. I can show you how to cut this alder here if you want me to with the bigger blade, but I can do that later. But here's the thing that we're going to be working on. There's a lioness. I wasn't trying to hide him. Just my workbench at home is like 83 inches long, and this one here is 83 inches long. So I work backwards. I go right to left instead of left to right. I don't know, I'm sure there's some psychiatrist out there that knows why people do that, but I don't know. If you do, come see me after the thing. All right, good, you can see the picture up there. Cool. Now, Lazy Susans are so awesome. Get this out of the way. All right. The taller ones are alder. The shorter pieces, the thinner pieces are cherry. I don't know if you can see that or not. I want the rib cage to be a little bit shallower, so muscles, the bones, the feet for walnut, and the bigger pieces for the arms and legs. So what I'm going to do is I'll let this cherry piece here to do that one. Let's get rid of this alder. Take this Intarsia pattern here. Voila. Where did my... Here's my square. Square. Oh, I took the blade out. We're good. You don't have a small square like this? See this little guy? JB Epstein's or something like that? BJ, JB? Sell them for $2.50. They went up to $5. Like, really? You can take your big one. Just put it in front of it and get a bird's eye view, an eyeball view of it. So you don't need to get it underneath. Just get a good view, see if the blade's perpendicular. To mark the pieces of wood, so I take, this is 3/4 inch. I took my cherry, I take my pencil, and I run a line. You guys can't see that, can you? Yeah, you can, over here. Thanks for your camera. You're doing a great job on that there. Got it? All right. So one thing I'm doing is I'm taking my pencil and I'm laying the tip of it on this gauge. Same thing with these big pieces. But look how much wood I have to remove. Got to remove a lot of wood for this bad boy. Yep, doing the same height. That's what makes Intarsia nice. You can use different thicknesses pieces of wood if you sculpt to the same line. Now, do you have to use the same height gauge? Absolutely not. You can sculpt a piece and then put it next to it and take your pencil and mark the next piece. The only problem with that is you'll mark the wood that you just did, and I don't like doing that. So I just use a height gauge to it. And like I said, you cut all your pieces, make sure you number them in the back, and I like to use a waterproof pen. Pilot has a good pen to use that for. They're ink. I did a carousel horse one time and it had like 32 pieces for the pull. I did it in pencil. Denature alcohol takes pencil marks off. But at least there's the same. I can figure cherry, bass, cherry, bass, cherry, bass, cherry, bass. It worked out. But put the number the same way on the as it is on the pattern. So 60's right here, 60 goes right there. If you have an oval or a circle, if you're doing an eyeball, wherever that number is on that underneath, you want to put the same on the pattern so everything fits. Any questions on the height gauge? Good. All right. One thing here I want to show. Intarsia used to be done in the 15th century. A lot of it used to be done there. They didn't have power tools. They had draw knives. It's like what Bill had, but a bigger, longer handle. A blade like that, put it in the wood, and you pull with your shoulder. You put that that knife into your shoulder socket right here. And they did it really interesting back in those days. So you can find a bigger picture of it. Like these here, they have doors. They make the doors stick out, but it's a flat panel. Okay? That's what they used to do in the 15th century. We have scroll saws, we have electricities, we have sanders. They probably used 1/4-inch wood to 3/8, and they planed it all down. When a piece of furniture was done in marquetry or things like that, their veneers were thicker. They're probably a good 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 inch. When a new king came by, they want the furniture refinished. They just took to the wood shop and used a hand plane. Now I'm sure if people know about the period furniture, if I'm wrong, let me know. But they used to take a hand plane and just re-hit it, and then put a new coat of finish on it and bring all those colors back. But Metropolitan Museum of Art has a whole section of this. It's pretty awesome if you're up there in New York. All right, next what we're going to do is we have, this is called, it's microplane. Microplane sells this like a little cheese grater. They use it for like pasta, like go to Olive Garden or something like that. They grate the Parmesan cheese. Originally, these were designed, they were like a stick, 12 inches long, for doing cabriole legs on mahogany furniture. After you hit them on the bandsaw, you get the original shape. Then you hit it with that microplane, and you kind of carved it. It gives you wood chips. Then you put it on this bad boy. Now this motor here goes up to 3,600 RPMs. They don't want you going any faster than 29 or 2,700. So I'm about 900 RPMs over. But I don't have secrets how I do Intarsia or how I do my work, so I don't teach it this way in class. But I'll let you know how I do it. I try to do things quicker, faster, more efficient. You can get by with just one drum, one machine, and a kit. You just got to change the grits. So you do 5 pieces at 80 grit, then you put the 150 grit on this arbor. You do those 5 pieces at 150 grit, then you put your 220 grit arbor on. Then you do those 5 pieces 220, take that off, put the 320 on, and finish those 5 pieces. Then you only have 58 more to go. So what I do it a little differently. And we have this kind of angle this way, and you're going to look like Fabio with his hair blowing and stuff. Okay. Sorry. But make sure you wear safety glasses. This machine is so aggressive, I don't go against it. As this is spinning towards me, usually pull this way, it's so powerful, I go with it. And I don't take much off. You let the machine, because you're at a corner here, and it's only going to remove maybe 1/8 of an inch. The next one will remove about almost a quarter of an inch, and it gets a little bit more and more. Has anyone ever seen them at the tool show, use these? At the tool show though? They used to put them on a drill press, and they used to take wood to it. They used olive wood. And the reason why they use olive wood grain direction goes everywhere. This works best against the grain. It does not work well with the grain. But this is how I do it. Turn on the machines. So what I got set up here is my microplane. I have a small 80 grit, another 80 grit big, 150, 220, 320. So if you plan it, you can start to finish your piece without ever putting it down. That's what slows you down. It takes about an hour a piece to do Intarsia. By doing 80 grit, then 150, then 220, 320, marking it, picking it up. So when I do this piece here, it's 53. I take my pencil. There's 3 rules to Intarsia that I like to use. First rule is you sculpt to the line. I sculpt right to that line. The second rule is called outer perimeter. Outer perimeter is anywhere where air is hitting the area. Not where 2 pieces of wood hit, but where the air hits. So I take my pencil, make sure everything's over the pattern. And thank you, Josh. Your wife, to putting this all together for me today. Makes great puzzles. Just send a box of these pieces to somebody without the picture, then send the picture next year, next Christmas. Be awesome, be a great selling point. Hey, you like puzzles? Okay. Anyway, so that's the outer perimeter, then I mark my lines like that. That tells me I need to remove that wood. Inside here though, underneath that line, I don't touch. with the sanding drums, because then you're changing the shape, then you'll have gaps. So the first thing I do, turn this bad boy on. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. You see that angle a little bit? It removed pretty good material. And that was like 3 hits. And this is cherry. Pretty medium hard wood. The alder goes a lot faster. Just let the machine do the work. See how I'm going with the grain or with the tool? And use your ears. Listen to the machine, how it's running, because this is vibrating. It can come loose in the chuck. So that piece is rough shaped for me. Now this won't hurt your fingers, okay? It doesn't hurt your fingers. But if it hits a nail or hits your knuckle, it's going to take a hunk out. You got to be careful with these too, because these are like perforated paper. You know, the paper you print, they got all little dots. That's all this is these little dots. If you push too hard, it's going to peel that back. If it peels it back, it'll hit that wood right out of your hands. So don't push very hard on that machine. Let it do the work for you.